Merry Vlogmas, day 6. And on that note, rest in peace and happy birthday to my dad, Boyd Baker, Charles Boyd Baker, December 6, 1953. We had it for 46 years. He was a hell of a man. You guys have heard me talk about him. So real briefly, I had 3 fathers. All of them important to me on different levels. So Boyd was my daddy, per se. He was there when I was a little girl. A baby. He came around when I was about 9 months old. And he became my daddy, and his family became my family. Hands down. We had a lot of issues, but the most important thing that my dad ever taught me in life was actually, sadly, at the end of life. Because what I learned is that no matter what the bullshit was between us, and this isn't true for everybody because some people have problems they can't overcome, but whatever the drama was and the bullshit was between us and whatever selfish things each one of us may have pulled on each other, in the end, the only thing that mattered was that we loved each other the best that we could love each other. And that was that. He didn't love me the way I wanted to be loved. But he loved me the best that he could. But he'd probably say the same thing about me. So in honor of Boyd, my dad, a good old-fashioned joint today. I gave you the disposable vape pen yesterday, a spoon pipe the day before, and this joint's for my dad. Because he would have enjoyed that. He's a good old-fashioned guy. I think even with all the new technology, and he loved technology, he'd still like his joints. All the music that I choose today is music that is performed by my dad, or by my dad and his bandmates, or a co-musician possibly, but he's in every one of them. He traveled to Europe and played in ski chalets, and he was well known all over St. Petersburg in the 80s. And he was just a remarkable person. He was born in Oklahoma and then moved to Southern Illinois. And then moved out to St. Pete around 71, I think, where he met my mom and became my dad. And then we moved up to Illinois when I was a couple of years old and lived up there until I was like 5 or 6, I think almost 6, before we moved back to Florida. And my mom encouraged him to take his music to a bar and asked to play there and to continue singing. And that really made him into the musician that he was. He was a cover musician. He wasn't anything fantastic, but his personality was phenomenal. His personality made up for any lack of music talent he might have had. He was good. Don't get me wrong. The recordings, they suck because they're old-fashioned, just recorded off a tape recorder in a bar, but he was a good musician, but his personality and the way that he shined, the way that he shone out in the world was just, it was remarkable. Unfortunately, he could do some dirty things too, but he was so fun. He really was. So Grandpa, if you're watching this, you may want to turn this off now. But you're watching me smoke a joint, so maybe you could just keep listening. I have a lot of favorite stories about my dad, but one time my grandparents were visiting, and my grandparents are straight-laced. They're not, they're good people, they're proper people, and cannabis was what it was in the 60s and the 70s to them. So this is like the late 80s, early 90s, and they're down visiting. They're asleep in the next room, and we're in the living room, and we're smoking a joint, and we're sitting on the back of the couch, and we've got the window, like the jalousies, the Florida window jalousies cranked open, and we're smoking the joint, blowing it out the window, and we're like, every little noise we're we're like, oh, shit, they're gonna hear us. It was more like we were siblings at that point. We're gonna get busted by our parents that I was his daughter, which was often the case between me and him. But it was just so fun, and there was just so many Boyd stories like that. There were so many remarkable, silly things, and you never knew what was real or what wasn't. Like one time he hiked a mountain in Switzerland to steal the Swiss flag, which I have. You would think that was total bullshit, but I actually have the newspaper clippings that prove that it's true. There's just so many things like that. The fact that it is my dad's birthday today. I also had brunch and a wonderful walk, and I can't remember the name of the damn park, in Wall Springs with Miss G-Thumb, who makes Canna-Bears. The amazing Miss G-Thumb. I had a great time with her, really great visit, just chill. It's always nice when you don't have to make a big fuss over something. You can just go out with a friend and relax for an hour or two and come home and make videos. So what do you think I should do tomorrow? I have grandbabies tomorrow. Bringing you a video tomorrow is going to be really hard. So I don't really like to include them since I'm cannabis related. Not that I'm against it. It's just that this is my thing. My thing. So I have no idea what I'm going to bring you tomorrow. But I appreciate you all. Remember your loved ones and appreciate all that you have. If you've never lost your parent, hug them. If you can't get over the bad blood between you, it's okay. Shit happens. But coming from somebody that's lost a lot in life, and from somebody that also watched another person who never had a relationship with their father, who was abusive, who then died, it's different when you lose somebody. It's even if you didn't love them, and you may even have a degree of relief that they're no longer in your life. I'm not feeling that way about me personally, but if you do feel that way, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have some pang when they're gone. There might be something there that you might surprise you. So, if you can forgive, forgive. If you can't, move the fuck on. Smoke a joint, enjoy your life. Happy holidays. Merry Vlogmas. See you tomorrow.